Good evening, everybody. There we go. We're using a different link, as you can see. So there's obviously a teething problem there. Hi Ben, hi Damon. I'm just sorting myself out. And we're in. You are looking at the red light, green light, in case Andy does eventually watch this. He's been hounding me for the settings for a while. I just think he's not awake much. It is what it is. You know, people drop in, drop out, come back with no idea what it was they were looking at in the first place. Usually, sadly, mate, if you do watch this, dabblers or those giving it a go. So, I will, while we're at the beginning, and just so you know, I'll do common, I'll do titles and arguments, and then you can see the settings on them both there. It's a 13 period EMA. This strategy's been shared free on, what's it called? What is it called? Baby Pips and some other places, just in case anyone of the people who do copy and share outside, you know, they're on a chase after us. That's for them. It's there. Now, today we're going to be looking at the long range forecast charts and how we can edit them to show us yet more. I'll do it in a moment. I also want to look a little bit at the difference, the reasons between finger on a button and locking in. We're going to use this chart for that one. And we'll look at it in a moment. First, though, the long range forecast chart and how we can help ourselves, if you like, to what's the word? Well, get better, basically. Obviously, you know, on our long range forecasting chart, we have all the higher value EMAs right down to the latest 1597 and 2584, all the Fibonacci numbers there, a daily and a 4 hourly. On the daily, we got the monthly fib levels. On the 4 hourly, we've got the weekly fib levels. How can we make this any better? Well, we should all know by now that really all we're looking for from the higher value EMAs is a loaded support and resistance. Hang on, I got someone struggling to get in. Type in the password. There you go. And oh yeah, you're in, Bob. You're in. Okay, sorry, I see your name in the group now. I'm assuming it's the same Bob. Anyway, back to it. The support and resistance of the higher value EMAs, and we can see here how the 144 is tested, and that is a thing. It really is always a thing. I'm looking at some, what's that called? No, can't do that. Never mind, won't worry. So there's support here, and we've got a what's called a Camarilla level here. Well, how can it tell us any more? I'm going to zoom in, or if you like, drill down. We've got the daily here, so I'll make the daily a 1 hour. And for the 1 hour, we're going to ignore the Camarilla levels on here. But this one, while we go 15 minutes, we're going to change the Camarilla levels on it. And I believe that one should be our Camarilla levels to be 1 day. And there you go. Now we can see on the 15 minutes and on the 1 hourly, ignore the Camarilla levels over here. So in fact, I'll just hide them. There you go. There's a higher value EMA above us and we broke through it. There's another higher value immediately above that, and the potential for an inverse head and shoulders. Over here, when we look at the 15 minute, what are we doing? We're faffing around with the white line in between pink and purple at some stage there, and of course our intraday Camarilla level right there is in the way. So drilling down the process, bringing them in still tighter, offers us the chance to see the support and resistance on the multiple time frames. Now you all know we could, if we chose to, make a 4 screen layout with a daily 1 day, 4 hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes all side by side. I'm not going to go to the lengths of that here, but it is a very doable and, if you like, thought-provoking process, because it will show you all of that extra, if you like, support and resistance that is right there near the price. I'm going to put him back to the 1 week, and then I'm going to put him back to the 4 hour, and then it's all readily done. Now that took what, a minute, maybe 60 seconds, 90 at most. And it's a flick from the daily to the 1 hour and the 4 hour to the 15 minute, where you get all the higher value EMA opinions, if you like, on a zoomed in way. Now there is another way of doing it. You could take just one chart and you could put all the levels on by putting lines on the chart, but that's a lot of work, and as you all know, I'm generally against doing anything resembling lots of work. Moving on then to the next part of the session that I want to discuss, a look at the difference and the reasons between finger on the button and locking in. Now, when we lock in, a broker platform is designed to fulfill an order. So if you have an order, if you place an order, the broker platform is designed to fulfill that, and it might indeed fill the order, especially if the order is too close. So usually, and I'll add an indicator for this exercise, I'm going to add PSAR, because you all know I like that. It shows the last swing high or swing low, and that would be your emergency stop. So your actual physical, if you went long here and you can see green has indeed crossed up above zero, it has crossed up above red, so he says yes, and he says it's now, it's a close above the green line, flip of the PSAR2 if you like, that would be your emergency stop. However, when price comes back towards the green line here, this is a sensible reason to be finger on button. Those of you who know me know well enough that I really despise taking a loss. If that was the entry, and it is according to the strategy, actually it isn't, there it is, it's during that bar where we have crossed up down the bottom and we are above the green line. So you could enter during this bar whenever that cross occurred and you'd be in, because remember we just added the PSAR to show you where your physical stop would be. It's always the last swing low, and that PSAR will always match the last swing low or the last swing high. So you'd be entering it, let's randomly go halfway up the bar and say it's 38.058, and you'd have a hard stop in place of 24 pips. Notwithstanding that line, this bar coming back towards zero, this would be a finger on button, and those of you who know me and know of my sessions would be looking at the low of this bar, and there on my crosshairs is where the low appears. The low is 38.061, the entry was 38.058 halfway up the bar, so you'd have 2 pips maybe in profit. That's finger on the button because we're by the green line. As we break away and close, relax again, and that's your hard stop. Hard physical stop. We never trade without a stop. It moves up, it levels off. Price approaches a green line, which approaches a price. Finger on the button at the green line. Finger on the button at 72 then in this case from 58, which means you've got about 14 pips. Finger on the button. Your physical hard stop, however, is there, 44, still below where you got in. Moves up, relax again, moves away from the green line. Green line and price come together. Now you all know we use different, better, ideally, strategies in our live sessions. So you know what I'd be talking about when I said finger on the button and where things level off, that we could, in fact, move our trailed stop. Another instance, another reason to be finger on the button, a price action bar has broken the low of a previous low. Is there a fib? Yeah, we could draw a fib from there to there. It did break the 61.8, but it didn't touch the green line. Didn't even flip the PSAR. So big time finger on the button there. And if we said 120 was the low from 58, you're looking at 60 pips on the table there. If you did pull the plug, I wouldn't whinge at you. but it does become tweezer bottoms. So if you rather put finger on button than pull the plug, you did well. Now the PSAR flipped on this bar, but they have gone quite severe. That would be a reason to be finger on button, because the green line in this strategy is the be all and end all. So all the way up to maybe here where we touch, maybe there where you've certainly got, what is it, 187. What's that in terms of pips now? 127 pips. If you pulled the plug off that, I wouldn't complain. Notwithstanding, this is where you must exit. So 175, you got to get out, and you're looking at maybe 118 pips from that. We say 115 for feeble rounding and being sensible. And what's the word I'm looking for? Safe. Due to large numbers in the meeting, system messages. Okay. System messages. I don't know if you guys can text or type in there. I'm watching. It says due to the large number of participants in this meeting, there's only 24. So I may have a word about that, because as you know, I'm using someone else's link for this today. I'll keep an eye on there on what goes on there, and we might be using that one going forward. So we'll see what's the issue. I don't know what it is for now. But there you go. That's the difference largely between finger on the button and locking in. If you lock in tight, you are going to find that your broker will close the trade, because it's an automated electronic platform. There really isn't someone sitting behind the screen watching every single trade that you take. It's electronic. Each computer, each terminal, each server is probably managing, I don't know, maybe 1,000 traders individually. You know, it's certainly not just checking on you, and there certainly isn't somebody on the other side of it who puts down his coffee cup and picks up his glasses every time you log in to the platform just to, you know, to confirm your buys and sells. Literally, it's an electronic platform. And finger on the button means exactly that. If we do this for a moment, if I go settings, show trading buttons, there you go. So let's assume for a moment we entered the buy, we're in the buy. As price approaches the green line, or green line gets close, it's sell to close. You're hovering over the sell button or the X button to close. That's what finger on button means. See the finger? I'm giving you the finger right there. Finger on the button to close the trade. Whereas physically placing the stop is literally dragging your stop loss from and locking it to maybe a PSAR or bang on the line. That's a physical locked in PSAR there. Sorry, stop loss there. If we looked up, it's 11 pips away. It didn't get there, but the chances are, if you put a physical stop in place, it might tip your physical stop loss, because they are electronically designed to fulfill orders. I hope that makes sense to everybody. I have recorded this myself personally, but I'm not sure if you guys can contribute much today to this, so I'll keep this one quite short, and I'll check in later with my partners to see what the shortcomings are. I will read this out loud so you know. Due to the large number of participants in this meeting, system messages for those who joined or left have been disabled. I'm not sure what that means, but literally it says we are 26 people who got in on this forum. I don't know if that's right. It ain't many, is it? And there are some things I also can't do that I would normally be able to. I'll figure it out at some stage. We'll call it a day here then. We are 14 minutes into the recording. I'll upload it. There you go. Cameron says the message is working. Nice one. Thanks for that. Cheers, Ben. Thanks, William. I'll upload the recording straight away. Remember the topics. We zoomed in a bit, or drilled down a bit, on the long range forecast charts and how to edit them to show us more information. We've also looked at the difference and the reasons between a finger on the button and actually locking in. Trade safe, everybody, and I look forward to seeing you the next time we do something. Cheers, bye bye.